Let's talk front desk bonus systems. Out of all the questions I get in running a practice, this is one of the most important ones, is incentivizing your team and keeping them excited to grow with you. And so I'm going to give you the 4 simple core pillars in building any bonus system for your team and show you exactly how to do that inside of BlueIQ for your front desk. I'm Dr. Corey Frogley, CEO and co-founder of BlueIQ. We've been helping practices build these bonus systems, and in fact, it's one of the core foundations of BlueIQ to help you master your numbers and motivate your team, connecting them to their patient experience that you're trying to build within your practice. So let's get into core pillar number 1, which is knowing your overhead. BlueIQ has an integration with QuickBooks Online that allows you to pull in that data and right there on your profit dashboard know exactly what your overhead is. Now, this overhead should match your profit loss statement, which is found in QuickBooks, and working with your bookkeeper, you can generate that, make sure those numbers match up, and also make sure that you're working with your bookkeeper that you have your base pay included in that overhead. You see, if we're going to build a bonus system, we have to make sure that there's actual profits to be shared, and we aren't truly profitable until you have earned your base pay, and that is why we include this. Now, core pillar number 2 is now knowing that there's profits to share and calculating what is that range, what is that margin that we can share with our team. And this starts with calculating the number of appointments that your practice needs to have on the schedule to become profitable. So when you go into your BlueIQ, we have a dashboard that is the front desk dashboard, and this shows you your total appointments. Now, this actually tracks your completed and scheduled appointments so you can see total appointments. How many of those do you need to have on the schedule before you become profitable? And we can calculate that by knowing your collection visit average, which we went through in one of our previous training videos. So knowing your collection visit average, we now calculate, here's the number of visits that once we get to, we are now profitable as a practice, and we can start building that bonus system. When we identify the range of those office visits in a month of where they need to be, we can now build 2 magic metrics that you have set up for the front desk in order for them to watch, to report on, and to help drive the practice to hitting those goals. And if you open up Insights, BlueIQ will analyze that data for you to show you where should you be in your growth trajectory. Now, you're going to make sure that by calculating your collection visit average, that you're actually in that range where you're exceeding overhead. And now we know with confidence that we can implement this bonus system, and now it's truly profit sharing with your team and not just becoming overhead. So the first KPI, key performance indicator for the front desk, is total appointments. And on the front desk dashboard, we have this total appointments metric. And by putting in your practice schedule, every day you can see how many appointments do we need to be on track to meet and exceed this goal. The second magic metric is actually kept appointment percentage, and this is looking at what percentage of those appointments that were set actually were completed. And you're going to work and make sure that you're training with your team member that when an appointment or a patient doesn't show for the day, that their appointment just isn't moved, it's actually rescheduled. Or if they didn't show and they can't get a hold of this patient within 24 hours, it becomes a canceled or missed appointment, and we have to make a new appointment. That kept appointment percentage, a healthy practice should be in the range of 88 to 94%. Now, if you're below that, you're just going to simply work on training to get a team member up to hitting that minimum benchmark of 88%. So the training of how we're tracking this data becomes very important, that there's a fair exchange, that if they hit this bonus system, it's because they are really working with those patients to keep those appointments. Before we jump into core pillar number 3, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a single great episode with content like this coming into your inbox every week. Core pillar number 3 is we're going to build a 2-stage bonus system, and this is based upon the winning performance level inside of BlueIQ, or in the blue, meaning they're actually exceeding expectations and we want to reward a team member for doing so. You just want to make sure that the amount that you're allocating for winning and in the blue is enough that it's incentivizing, right? It's motivating for that team member so that they're pushing hard every month to try to achieve that and receive that bonus. So let's give you an example of how this works. Let's say Corner Street Chiropractic is needing 500 total appointments at a 92% kept appointment percentage in order to actually meet overhead. And the practice is on trajectory to actually have 600 completed appointments at 92% kept appointment rate. We would want to incentivize that team member to start pushing us up and above that 600 mark. So we would want to set that benchmark for the level 1, the winning bonus system, to be at that 600 appointments, total appointments at the 92% kept appointment percentage to unlock tier 1 of the points of the bonus system. Now we're using points because those can translate into things like, dollar for dollar in a cash reward, or an extra paid time off, or wellness dollars within the practice. You can decide how you want to motivate your team with that. The next level of bonus is what we call in the blue, and this would be like 50% more bonus for them for exceeding the expectations. And that's where BlueIQ turns blue, because we are now actually exceeding those expectations as we're setting those goals for the practice. As we're doing this with a team member and they're hitting those benchmarks, if they start hitting those consecutively, 2, 3 out of the last few months, then this is where we're going to reestablish their base and reset the goals, reestablish the benchmarks for them to now start bonusing in the future. And this is how a team member continues to grow with you and be excited about the growth of the practice. Core pillar number 4 is for those practices who actually have more than one team member at the front desk. I highly encourage a practice to start dividing responsibilities at the front desk, where we have an established patient system. These are patients already in care, their recommended treatment plans are in place, and another part of the front desk system, which is your new patient systems. Now, each one of these have very specific KPIs that we're tracking. Over here on the established patient side, this is all your appointment types that fit within your established appointment times. These are your memberships, these are your treatments that you're scheduling throughout the day for your providers. Over here, this is your appointments for new patients and report of findings. It's the process up until they're now committed to becoming an established patient. We've provided filters inside of BlueIQ for you to be able to completely separate these appointment types and track them individually, both on total appointments and kept appointment percentage. So you would have a new patient and report of finding kept appointment percentage, and over here we would have that established patient kept appointment percentage, so that we can reward those team members. Now, of course, they're going to go back and forth and help each other, but they're really being rewarded for their expertise, their specialty, and helping the practice grow on each one of those systems. And that's how you start with a growing front desk team, building an incentivization program that rewards them for where their time is spent and helping you grow this practice. Now, if this seems a little bit overwhelming to you, BlueIQ has made it simple for you, because our team members will help set this up into your front desk dashboards, and quite frankly, we can do this for every position within the practice so that your team is incentivized to help continue to grow with you. So click the link below and go get your demo of BlueIQ today.